Coming up in this episode, I get locked in a school and I have to figure out what to do with this posh tent. This is Ampfire Vlog, episode 5.
Morning. It's Wednesday morning. I didn't do an update yesterday just because yesterday morning I went out on the bike, did a bit of training, went to Telford, met up with a few friends. After filming on Sunday, I was filming on Sunday and my bike obliterated. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. And it's broke, so I've got to take that over to the bike shop this morning. But first I've got to go and find a jet wash so I can give it a quick hose down because I've not had a chance to clean it properly. Then we've got to go to a stately home where they've got, like, they do weddings and stuff, and they've got like a temporary outdoor like tent thing that they need some sort of temporary emergency lighting solution on. So we're going to go look at that. I think what we're going to do is look and see if there's any outdoor plugs and see if we can make something that could be plugged in or something like that. Right, bike dropped off. Looking at about 300 quid for the rear mech and a few bits and bobs and labour. Now, it's frustrating, you know, because the bike industry is really struggling at the minute, and I obviously, on my other channel, I review stuff and I get a lot of stuff, and it's really frustrating because something like that is something that at any point in time I'd get given a rear mech for free, and it would cost me nothing to fix that bike, or I would have a bike in on the long-term test and I'll be riding that, and it would give me, that means that bike can sit in the corner until I get a free part or something that I can make it work with. But unfortunately the bike industry is not like that at the minute. It's struggling. It's Christmas. I've just been messaging a friend of mine who works with GT bikes, and I messaged him to see if his job's safe because they've just made an announcement they have major cutbacks, and he is like the national sales manager, and I've just messaged him this morning to check in on him to make sure he's okay, because it's the week before Christmas and he might have just lost his job. He has messaged me back, but I've not read it yet. So I've come to look at the job for they're loading up now. Sorry, I've been trying to sort this out for ages. Basically, there's an outdoor area here called like the barns, which they use as a wedding venue, and they put some sort of, they call it a stretch tent, so it's like a marquee that kind of goes up. I think I'm in the right spot, but at the minute obviously the marquee's not up, they're not using it, I can't see it anywhere. I don't know if you can see they've got like glamping and stuff in the field over there, but I've got no signal, and so the images they sent to me of when it was up were on the email, and I've been sat here for ages trying to get it, and now they've just come through. So I was about to go for a drive, but it looks like they've all come through, and I've got to try and figure out whereabouts that is in relation to this area, because that isn't this bit, so that's a different bit. I've managed to airdrop them to my phone, so I'm just going to have a little wander. So hopefully it's open. Oh no, how do I get in? Well, I found the building. Is there any way in? Do I need a key to get in somehow? Basically this tent is like it's called a stretch tent. It's like a marquee, and the brief that's sent is these doors aren't permanent. These ones here, they're not permanent, so I think at the minute, winter, all the sides are on, they've got these doors, but in the summer, or when the weather's good, these doors come off and the sides come off. But I'm just looking, these are, oh hang on, no, oh I see. I see. Yeah, so these doors come off, so they need, what they need is for when the side's on, they need temporary emergency lights that go above here, and then in the summer when it all comes off, these come off. They want to be able to go, because obviously they don't want a permanent light attached to it. That makes sense now. That I get it. I'd put like a bulkhead on the side of this or something that points out that way to add a little bit more light. And then if we can put permanent lights in on the walls, we can just wire them. There's some sort of lighting circuit because there's lights all the way around. So I'm just going to try and figure out what they're wired into. There's already emergency light bulkheads on the other side of those doors, and I had a feeling there's one over there. So it could be very simple, rather than mess about taking a fuse spur off the plug and then messing out with all the system testing. I could just take this galvanised conduit on that, or you could run some galvanised conduit off these, because there's emergency lights on all of these. So it would be really simple to run straight off these, drill a hole straight through that, which comes outside here, and then just... Right, just been in and measured all that there. Whilst off camera then, the client's representative that's kind of deals with us came up and met me there. The problem is, I think we were coming from this, and they were saying they wanted a temporary solution, and it was like a tent, and effectively you're trying to make something that fits a tent, and you're going to be using extended electrics and stuff like that. I think the option really is, actually, let's just come off the existing emergency light circuit, let's run some conduit down that wall, let's put a couple of bulkheads there, and let's, if we can, put the flood down. So we'll do that. I'm going to go inside now as well and have a look, because they've got a problem with door guards. Door guards are the battery operated door closers that trigger when the alarm goes off. They were never really a great fix in here, so I'm going to go and have a look at those, and I think I'm going to suggest wiring in some mag locks. That's probably the best way to go. So there's two doors in there, one on the kitchen, one on the kitchen corridor, that we put locks. There is an actual mag lock on here that goes through the cabling. This cable, look at this cabling. We don't look after the fire alarm in here. We do a monthly test on it, but it's actually a wireless system. This is FP. This should really be mounted a lot better. So many jobs in this place. Such a big building, such an old building. Right, so back in the van. Yeah, we're just going to replace those door guards, which are the battery operated door holders. Basically, they hold the door open with the battery, and they do actually release when they hear the sound of the fire alarm. And the way they work is they just have like a little microphone receiver, and they pick up on high-pitched beeps, and you can program them to an extent. There is like some where you can sound the alarm and you can reset it, and so it picks the alarm. The problem is, in a commercial kitchen, the hoover, the beeping of like timers going off in the kitchen, just the high-pitched like cutlery rattling and plates chinging is enough to imitate that sound, and it thinks it, and they'll keep shutting the doors, which then results in, like what they've done then, is the people that operate and work in that area just get fed up of the doors constantly shutting, because they're in and out, and so they pop them open with a wedge, and then it becomes a completely useless device to have. I remember at the time, I don't know why we fitted them, but I remember at the time they wanted a cheap solution, and we said, well, we have to run a cable and run it off the mag locks. And I think at the time they were having the fire alarm replaced by the people that were doing the fire alarm. That I'll talk about it a bit in a minute. But the people that are doing the fire alarm, they've run all the cable, because the fire alarm is a predominantly wireless system. And then I think when they were having the fire alarm done, and then we put them on, and I said to them, this is probably a temporary, like, this is not going to be suitable for your type of building. And they did it anyway, and now here we are a few years later replacing them because they're fed up of them constantly closing. So I'm just going to say, right, this is how we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it by running the cable. I did some investigation work. There was a void above where we chased that. There's a void above there. I found it in there. It's pretty simple. I can come. Obviously, it's easier if I can terminate the existing cable that operates the nearest mag lock, and it goes right near that door. So I can terminate off that, bring it off that, go to the next one, and then just basically add to the existing mag lock that's already there.
It's a new tool day or new equipment day. Just picked up. Been after some of these. These are the Vera or the Vera. I pronounce it. Etched screwdrivers. Don't know if you can see that. I was kind of hoping the flatheads would be a bit bigger. That's why I got a set of big screwdrivers. I like the Wera stuff because the handles are really good. I've got like all the Wera VDE stuff, but yeah, I was going to get like a normal set of like biggish, like decent screwdrivers to like get into things that aren't the electrical stuff. Also picked up, I'm always buying bit holders because I'm forever trying to find the perfect bit holder, and you get some that lock in. This one's a magnetic one. I've got Makita ones. I've got Milwaukee ones, all sorts. And I'm always trying to find the one with the best magnet. There's nothing worse when you're upside down or in an awkward spot with a screw and just trying to get it in, and the magnet's really rubbish. I picked up one of these because the other day when I was working, I have like those grey Euro bins, and I always give the guys them. So we have like the Euro bins, and whenever we do jobs, we've got these big bins. And the idea is like we'll put everything on it. So when we do like a job where there's like an install or something to do, it'd be like we'll put all the equipment, all the materials. So anything goes in one of those bins, and anything bigger than that, if it's like trunking, big drums of cable, obviously that's quite big. That could just go next to it, so that can go in the van. But all the little bits for the job can go in it. So if it's like a bunch of detectors, so like with Oliver, if he's doing a door, we'll put all the hinges he needs to go in there, all the intermittent pads, maybe any self-closers go in there, fire door keep closed stickers, lock mechanisms, thumb lock, thumb turns. They'll all go in that box, and that box is then just there with like a job sheet on it, job note on it, so you can take that to the job and everything's in there. And I know that he's got everything, then it's all in that one box. And then if he just brings everything back. But when I was on site the other day, I was carrying the box on top of my trolley, and it kept on falling off. So I keep meaning to get one of these. So I finally got one, and it's just the DeWalt. I've got the Tough system set up, and this is just like their tote box. And I can either just decant everything in one of those grey bins. I can still do it the same way, so I can still keep the Euro bins. But the idea would be then just to decant stuff into here. I'm not going to use it as like a toolbox. It's just going to be for like products. So like, detectors, switches, all those little peripherals can get chucked in these, and I can either carry it onto site, or it'll clip on top of my trolley, or clip on top of my tool rack. So when I'm dragging everything in, it doesn't fall off, it's all clipped together. And this, because it's Tough system, you can have other items clipping on top of that as well. And I have already a DeWalt backpack. I have the cool one that has like a battery charger in it and the light and everything. This is a smaller one that I just wanted to try out. Basically, I'm messing about with. I've ordered as well, which is online. It's arrived today, and when I get home, it'll be at home. Is the DeWalt like hold all type one? But these one and the hold all, this clips into the Tough system. Just dropped my drink on the floor. This clips into the Tough system like the little mini organiser boxes do, and the hold all fits on a normal one. So this will click on top of the toolboxes as well. So in the van, I can click it on top of the toolboxes and on the Tough system, and it keeps it all tidy and it's not sliding around in the van. At the moment, I've got the backpack which goes in like a little cubby hole in the van. But I've got everything in there with the backpack. So I've got like a basic electrics kit. I've got multi-testers in there. I've got my battery tester for the alarms. I've got all my VDE tools. And so I'm trying to split things a little bit. I don't know whether I'll continue using that, but the idea is the hold all is like I want something that I can put like a drill in, a couple of drills, an impact driver, whatever in that, and then a load of tools and carry that onto a job. But then also like I want what I call like a testing kit. So it'll have just in it at all times everything to do pat testing or equipment testing or fire alarm test or whatever, and that can kind of goes in here. So I thought I'd give this one a try. Just try it out, see how it goes. It seems to kind of work. It's actually technically not a backpack. It's not classed as a backpack. You just hold it. It's like a half whole bag, but it has got a strap which can't see, which you can look over your shoulder, so it's more like a satchel type setup. But we'll give it a go. We've got to try this. We're always trying to like improve on things and figure stuff out. Loads of little cool clips on it, loads of little place to put your tape measure, clips, and maybe I'll like split it. Maybe I'll make one just a pure testing one and then one more like a tool one. We'll see. But yeah, the other one has like a few good points, but also a few bad points, as if it could do with a few more pockets and stuff, and this seems to have got that. So yeah, I'm gonna look. So yeah, got some new tools. Cool.
Morning, folks. It is Monday the 23rd of December. It's the last paid job of the year. Actual working on site. Hopefully I won't be too long, about half a day. It's a fire extinguisher service at a local school. I actually booked it in today because they're off, so I'm meeting the caretaker there, because it's like a special school. They have a lot of autistic kids and things like that, which means if we do it during term time, then we have to have an escort with you and stuff like that all the time, and it's just a bit of a pain in the arse. So hopefully today I'll just be on my own, headphones on, and I'll be able to crack on and get it done. I've almost ran out of green tags. So those of you who don't know, who don't work in the fire industry, the fire extinguishers have different coloured tags every year, and we're moving to a different colour next year. And yes, basically I was like, oh, and I've literally managed to scrape the last few green tags. I've also had to like climb through all of that stuff, those extinguishers in there. Remember all those big piles of extinguishers we brought out of that place? Well, they're like just everywhere. So and I've got to work through those over the next few weeks, and sort them all out and find a home for them. And yeah, I've just had to like pull them all out to get to the rack in to where the drawer is that's got the tags in. I've literally got the last few tags. I did have a few on the van anyway, but I had a feeling I'm probably going to run out. So hopefully that's good ordering, isn't it? I managed to have just the right number of tags. I put off ordering a batch because you usually end up with like about 1,000 tags left over, because you have to order them in like batches of 1,000 or 500 or something to get a good deal. And I put off ordering some towards the end of the year just to see if I could get out, and I thought I could always get some more. So anyway, yeah, right, onwards and upwards. Going to get to this school. So the caretaker's gone, nipped out, left me on the site for a minute, which is fine. It's exactly what I wanted him to do. Be careful what you wish for, though, isn't it? This is exactly what I said I wanted it to do, because I hate it. So I don't want to do the schools, and I get it with the caretakers, with the new schools, they have to escort you around. There's nothing worse when we go onto jobs and somebody escorts you and you just sat there. They're just stood there either talking to you or like constantly like watching what you're doing. It's the worst. No one likes that, do they? So I was kind of hoping that he would just sort of leave me to it, which he has. Unfortunately, I need to get out. I don't know if you can see. I need to get out there to my van, and the gate is on a maglock, and there's no emergency open, because usually I've got the key to the emergency open. I can just open that, the call point, and get out. So I think that's the door release to the maglock. It's either that, or it could be the door release to that out there, to that door into the main school. I've tried sellotaping it down and can't get out. I found in the cupboard the fobs, but I think you have to program them because they don't seem to work. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get out, because I need to get out to get more labels. Right, I managed to get back in, and I've been out and I've got a load of labels now, so I can do the whole job. I'll just quickly show you whilst we're here these ones. So basically, because this is a sort of an SEN school, a lot of autistic kids with learning difficulties, that sort of thing, behavioural problems. I don't like using the word behavioural problems because I don't think they have got behavioural problems. I think half the time their brain just works differently and people don't work that out. But basically everything here has to be in locked cabinets to stop them, because they just grab hold of everything. We get loads of calls to this. They do a load of schools here. They're a big school group, big academy group we do loads for. Also stuff like all the break glass call points have to be protected like this, because the kids have set them off. But yeah, this is just like the general layout. So it's a very modern school. It's all primary. Well, I think it's all primary up to a certain age. But it's a nice little facility. I can see break glass points on the walls, all the extinguishers. They do get a lot of problems, so as you can see, they get these kicked in. But this is, to be fair, this is like the hall, the PE room, I suppose. So probably a little bit, but they do get these. So we do get a lot. So we spend a lot of time stripping about our old cabinets. I buy second-hand cabinets
off eBay that people are scrapping, or if I'm in somewhere, anytime we're pulling stuff out, simply because trying to get hold, like he's obviously they've got safety locks on, but trying to get hold of these clasps, they get broken. The perspex on these, the hinges, is an absolute nightmare. You can't get them off the manufacturer, or very rarely can you get them off the manufacturer. Sometimes they'll pop up on eBay. So we spend a lot of time, anything we come in now, we strip them down to take all the brackets off them, all the clasps off them, even the rubber seals we'll take off them, the waterproof seal, and we store them at the unit. And it seems like a lot of effort, but you'd be surprised how many times schools like this in particular will ring up and say, have you got this? And we've become quite well known for it now, actually. People contact us all the time. Don't like to be a jobs with, but basically we're in a kitchen here, so this is a school. Very nice lot, big, beautiful, open, very nicely built, you know, big glass front. And this is clearly like a cooking class. They've got ovens, hobs, microwaves, etc. So you would argue relatively high risk. We've got fire blanket over in the corner, fire blanket over the corner, and down here we've got a cabinet with some extinguishers in. But go over to it. I'm going to try and open it. Well, the hatch catches against here. Someone's put this fridge in, so I've got to move the fridge, which is not inconsiderably heavy. Bit of effort, and then open the cabinet. Look at that, completely empty on the wall. So that's a situation where it's fell out. Before. In fact, what is this over here? This looks to me like the fire blanket.
It is Christmas Eve. I've got to go and drop off some stuff, some jerseys for the local BMX club that I volunteer at. I've got to go back to the unit and have a tidy up. So this might be Merry Christmas and goodbye. I don't know. Might get back to the unit and talk to you some more. Anyway, if not, have a good Christmas. And yeah, more videos to come soon.